Shalom. I give all praise to Yahweh Shemashah Hakadosh. One to the elders, possibly let's go from the churches of sincerity. That takes you to the hopeful list, but this is going to be a daily bread of Matthew's, the 22 chapter, verse 1 to 46, and reads, And Yahushua answered and spake unto them again a parable, and said, The kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king which made a marriage for his son, and sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come. Again he sent forth other servants, saying, Tell them which are bidden, Behold, I have prepared my dinner, my oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come into the marriage. But they made light of it in their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise. And the remnant took his servants and entered them spitefully and slew them. But when the king heard thereof, he was wroth, and he sent forth his armies, and destroyed those murderers, and burnt up their city. Then said he to his servants, The wedding is ready, but they which were bidden were not worthy. Go ye therefore to the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage. So those servants went out into the highways and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good, and the wedding was furnished with guests. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there were a man which had not a on their wedding garment. And he says unto him, Friend, how camest thou in hither not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then said the king to the servants, Bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. There should be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For many are called, but few are chosen. All right, you should know what this basically goes into. All right, this basically goes into you know, the Lord, us brothers teaching, right, and building those who are building those the Lord want to receive salvation. Okay, but you have many people who's gonna, try to think they will receive salvation, right? But ultimately they're gonna be cast into they'll be judged by the fire because they didn't wear the proper wedding garment, which is what the pure truth, hold it, knowledge and understanding of the Lord. Okay, in the name of the Lord. Matthew 22:14. Then went the Pharisees and took counsel how they might entangle him in his talk, and they sent out unto him their disciples with the Herodians, saying, Master, we know thou art true and teachest the way of the Most High truth, neither carest thou for any man, for thou regardest not the person of man. Tell us therefore, what thinkest thou? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not? Y'all shall perceive their wickedness and said, Why tempt me, ye hypocrites? Show me the tribute money. And they brought unto him a penny, and he says unto them, Whose is this image and superscription? They say unto him, Caesar's. Then says he unto them, Render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar, and to the Most High the things that are the Most High. When they had heard these words, they marveled and left him with their way. Right. We have to pay our taxes. We have to, render unto Caesar what's Caesar. Okay. And then render unto things which are the Most High, which is what? Um, the sacrifices, right? Doing his will, doing his work. Okay. You know, that's not paying that's not wicked. Okay. Paying Hebrews, that's not wicked. We're slaves, seriously, that we are yet to stay in our captivity and be made subject to payments. Okay. Matthew 22:23. The same day came to him the Sadducees, which say that there is no resurrection, and asked him, saying, Master, Moses said, if a man die, having no children, his brother should marry his wife, and raise up seeds unto his brother. Now there was of the brethren, and the first, when he had married a wife, deceased, and having no issue, left his wife unto his brother. Likewise, the second also, and the third unto the seventh, and last of all the woman died also. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife should she be of the seven? For they all had her. Thou shalt answer, says unto them, Ye do err, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of the Most High. For in the resurrection they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are as the angels of the Most High in heaven. But as touching the resurrection of the dead, have ye not read that which was spoken to you by the Most High, saying, I am the Most High of Abraham, and the Most High of Isaac, and the Most High of Jacob? The Most High is not the Most High of the dead, but of the living. And when the multitudes heard this, they were astonished at his doctrine. But when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees to silence, they were gathered together. Then one of them, which was a lawyer, which is a Levite, asked him a question, tempted him, and saying, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Yahushua said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy part Most High with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. While the Pharisees were gathered together, Yahushua asked them, saying, What think ye of the Most High? What think ye of Yahushua? Whose son is he? They said to him, The son of David. He says unto them, How then does David in spirit call him Lord, saying, The Yahweh says unto my Lord, Sit thou on my right hand till I make thy enemies thy footstool. If David then call him Lord, how is he his son? And no man was able to answer him a word. Neither durst any man for that day for asking him any more questions, right? You know, because they couldn't. They ultimately was dumbfounded by the teachings of the Lord. Okay, you know. So today, dated verse will be Matthew 22:37. Thou shalt say unto them, Thou shalt love the Lord thy part with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. All right, and that's the first and great commandment. Okay, because what did the Lord say? Yahweh said, um, we have to forsake this world. We have to forsake our, earthly parents. We have to forsake things, okay, for the love of the Lord. Okay, if we don't forsake those things, then we don't love the Lord. Okay, that's not. So sometimes we have to forsake worldly things. Okay, and that's what you know. You do that for the Lord, but that's an action, right? Love is an action. Okay, if you do that, do those things for the Lord, that means that shows that you love Him. Okay, that you love Him with all your heart and with all your soul, with all your mind. Okay, not just ultimately, because the Lord He hate lukewarm. Okay, not just lukewarm. I'm talking about really you have a burning affection for the Lord. Okay, you know you're not 1 foot in the world and 1 foot in the truth. Okay, you're 2 foot in the truth, right? You're really sacrificing your time, your effort, your day, just to pray unto the Lord, do the Lord will. Okay, so I'm gonna close here. I give all honor and glory and praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh, Bashem, Bash, Tinetza, Shalom.